So punctual this all right, everyone's so punctual this morning, and we are here on Zoom and soon on Facebook by the looks of it. So we just give a moment of contemplation about our fortune to have such association as you all. Are you on Facebook? Leela Prabhu, our engineer
Yes,
is working on it.
yes, we are
Okay.
on live.
Okay. All right. So to all of you on Facebook, on Zoom, and in the recorded version, we are all together in fact. And so happily with you, my obeisances, and we'll begin with our simple invocation. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Savrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitan Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha Vishakhanvitanscha Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvijay Namaha Hare Krishna Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I have a note on my notes here, and it does say, but this is from 3 weeks ago, that Savitri had a question that she was going to ask next time. Now, I know it's 3 weeks old, but does Savitri still have a question? I see she's with us, or at least she's connected, maybe not seeing us. 4 in the morning. No, not 4 in the morning. 5 in the morning in Vila Govinda. Okay, let's give a few moments of contemplation. From 3 weeks ago,
I
she's probably...
I remember she's already did the question. It was in the
Oh,
lines of how to be pure devotee or something like this.
okay, Savitri, your question has been answered. Thank you, Leela Moin Prabhu. So what's Leela Moin Prabhu's question?
No question. How can I serve?
Okay, well, how can you are serving? You're connecting us together. You're the controller of this Zoom. Anyway, I'll just share just a little bit of yesterday. Yesterday evening, yesterday, of course, many things happen all day. But yesterday evening, it had been quite a full day for everybody with Hare Katha and Hare Kirtan and Hare Prasadam. So it was quite a full day for everyone. And then by the evening, Arati happened. And then we just thought, okay, lots of singing, lots of reading, everything, or reading, talking, taking place today already. So we just set up the computer very easily because it's right next door on the big screen. And I just looked for a recording of Srila Gurudev on the Srila Govinda Maharaj video series channel on YouTube. And I wanted to try to find one which was close to the same date, at least. So we got one which was maybe 3 days different. I don't remember exactly what the date was. I don't need to remember. It was 18th of March, 2001. So approximately the same time. And Srila Gurudev speaking. And so we said, okay, today we'll simply sit at the lotus feet of Gurudev. And it's a clear recording and a good video. Very good video. Mystically, we are sitting there with Gurudev. So good video in that sense, good recording. And so after just a short while, we stopped the video, and then just to keep us attentive, and the question had come up earlier that day, how can we be attentive? Because we were discussing about what had been spoken in the lunchtime program, or it's not lunchtime, but the main program on us on the in the West London temple is on Saturdays, and so what was discussed and what was read in the Saturday program. So I'm asking the devotees, and it's not unusual. It's not unusual. You ask me what was being read, then we are also in a similar situation very often. We find ourselves. And so we're discussing, okay, how will we make ourselves more attentive to remember? And so just a little while in, Gurudev was pausing. So we also paused and said, all right, from here on, we all give attention. And at the end of the talk, when Gurudev is finished, it's not a long talk, about half an hour, which is quite easy to be in, especially when it's Gurudev. And by the way, we did keep stopping, even though the captions are there, just to share things which are taking a place in the video, especially sharing Gurudev's expression, like just showing this is Gurudev thinking mood, this is Gurudev happy mood, this is Gurudev mischievous mood. This is, very sweet, because Gurudev is expressive, it is shown. And so, as some of you know, we have done in the past, where we say, okay, pay attention, because we maybe ask questions. But this time we said, afterwards, each of us will each ask question to other. It's not I am asking a question. They've given me too much of a school teacher role in the Upadesh Amritam class, where I have to sit behind a desk, or the students in front of me at their desk. But so we all ask each other questions about it. And so, we were a little bit more attentive. And then afterwards, we did then do, mix and match. Somebody asks someone a question, they ask somebody else a question, and this way around. So everyone gets asked questions, and everyone is asking questions in different ways. And it was lively, it was interesting, it was happy, and I hope helped us to remember some of the topics. But it is quite a, should I say, luxury? It's not the right word, but it is. Okay, it's quite a luxury for the sake of a better word, to have the captions there, which you can make big, as you know, in the options on YouTube at the bottom right-hand corner, or wherever they are, in that little preferences looking like a gear wheel. In the preferences, then you click on the closed captions or captions, and then there's a very tiny little hidden on the top right-hand corner, which says options. And there you click on that little writing, and then you can see that you can make the text of the caption 100%, 200%, 300%, 400%. So it's quite a luxury for me that we can show those captions, so we don't have to stop every few seconds to say, did you understand? Because we do find out that really a lot of things are not understood when it's just hearing the text as it is. So it was a lively and effective way of remembering what Gurudev was saying and repeating the essence of what he was saying. And so this was our yesterday evening. So now you're going to ask me, so what did Gurudev say in that class yesterday evening? Well, one thing was about the expression. I mean, Gurudev, I pulled it up just now, just to find the date. And here's Gurudev. Oh, I don't know how well you can see from here. But just look at, I might take the mouse from Gurudev. Just look at his expression. I mean, it's just such a beautiful video of Gurudev, and very, very him, very much Gurudev's nature. Oh, looking the other way. It's very much like Gurudev showing his nature. And when he was in reasonably good health, I mean, in the sense, I mean, bodily health, of course, we're talking about here. But sometimes when Gurudev really is sort of heavily extending himself in order to distribute mercy, understanding, inspiration to the devotees. I mean, sometimes we see Gurudev, I mean, really, it was quite sad where he's giving more energy than really he can. And he's feeling many difficulties in his body. And still he's exerting and sharing to the devotees. But here, this is the Srila Gurudev that we very much happy to remember. We remember, happy to remember all forms of Gurudev, no doubt. But here, it's clear Gurudev is fairly well. He's sharing, and I can recommend to anyone. So the link, you're going to want me to give you the link, right? Anyway, it's Srila Govinda Maharaj video series. If you go in there, presumably if you search simply for 010318, all in a line.
Maharaj, it's in the chat. Hare Krishna.
Oh, Seva Rupa Devi. Early in the morning, she's being very efficient. YouTube. Okay, I'll read it out to you. Those who are Shrutida, you can remember this link. FB, lowercase k, uppercase k, etc. Anyway, your telephone or computer, tablet, whatever you're using, is a little bit Shrutida. You could copy the link while it's there. Anyhow, so I was going to say, so I know you want to ask me, so what did Gurudev say? Such a nice talk. Yes, well, one thing he was saying was about Ramachandra. Oh, well, about Ramachandra. Going to the forest. He was banished to the forest. But on the eve before, he was going to be coronated. So he was going to be made king tomorrow. So we can think for anyone, oh, this is very, oh, no. Was it Ramachandra? Say, help me out, it's too early in the morning here. Who is going to be made king?
Well, Ramachandra was supposed to be.
All right. Yeah, I've got it right. Sorry, it's my fuzzy brain looking through the fog early in the morning. But yes, so Ramachandra is going to be made the king, the ruler, tomorrow. And then you can think, oh, very happy, all very good. So he'll be in a jolly mood. And then the news comes to him from his father that the news comes, oh, sorry, tomorrow you have to be banished to the forest for 14 years, I think. And then we can think anybody will, have at least a change of expression. Something that a great loss has happened in the material world. But Srila Gurudev is saying, how Ramachandra, no change of expression. He was jolly before, he's jolly after. Yes, okay. And I need to go to the forest. So this way of acceptance, giving some example of acceptance, whatever will come, then we must be equal-minded. So I don't think he quoted the verse, but we know in Bhagavad Gita, then we have this heat, cold, happiness, distress. We'll take everything as the same, but different. So we'll tolerate all of these things and we'll go on in this world according to our karma, according to our situation and our lot. But Gurudev covers various points, and it is interesting when you, with maybe 10 devotees, and so you've got probably, well, at least 20 questions, because everyone is asking and responding. And it does help us to at least reflect upon what Gurudev gave. So you can share our experience by watching this video and then asking yourself questions, thinking, oh, what would I ask Madhusudan if he was here? What would I ask to Paramananda Prabhu if he was here? What would Paramananda ask me? What would Muktinath Prabhu ask me? What would Jai Gauranga Prabhu ask me? Etc., etc. So anyway, this is our evening program. And what would I ask them? Because when you have to ask a question, you also have to know what was taking place. So anyhow, we do try to keep the programs like lively and appropriate. And when we'd had a full day of programs already, like continuous, then to watch Gurudev, to sit there, sit at his feet, watch him, hear him, but with attention, not to go to sleep. That, oh, because our evening program is to watch the telly, go to sleep. Not what evening program is to be with Gurudev. Anyway, very beautiful. It was a beautiful evening, a beautiful day with the devotees. And actually a beautiful day. It's London. And the sun is out and the blue skies. Really, I'm quite surprised. And not only blue skies, blue sky to the horizon. Yesterday afternoon, noted that the sky was blue to the horizon. So some clean air is blowing off the Atlantic or somewhere. Must be keeping the air clean here at the moment. Okay, so does anyone have a question for me? You can't just sit and smile. Well, if everyone else wasn't here, I'd ask him this. This is a naughty question. Oh, okay. Oh, Gurudev. Oh, yes, Gurudev telling many things yesterday. I won't be what did they call it? A spoiler or something. And tell you what's going to come up when you watch the video. When it's not watching a video. When you sit with Gurudev, and when you do sit with Gurudev, try to give obeisances, sit with him and be in that respectful, receptive mood. When we read a book, then it means the scripture. We give our obeisances to the book. We give our obeisances, our honor to the book, honor to the author. And when you come to watch the video, similarly, try to be in that mood. All right, Maharaj, then no. Okay, I heard it.
Maharaj, Dandavad devotees. And so, yes, you just mentioned a beautiful evening, and here is in Nabadwip was beautiful morning and morning arati. And yes, and I just would like to ask, as I just thinking about, I see all the devotees here who make service all day, and now some devotees came who already been here long time ago, and they went again. But in the Gurudev time and your time when you was here, like some devotees stay long term, and you, Maharaj, is a so perfect example how can be in service mood in Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Navadvip, like many years. And what is the I don't know, not secret or some, I don't know, is like what is no, where is that capacity, from where it came to be able to do service like a long time and always to be engaged in a mood of service, not to do it automatically and something like that. I mean, here maybe your personal experience exactly here in Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math Navadvip.
Well, you are saying not to do it automatically, but somehow or another, we were not calculating about, today, what am I doing today? Oh, I have to do service as a category rather than, oh, I want to do this, but I'm going to do, and I have to do something else. It was by the grace of Gurudev and the grace of Guru Maharaj and the grace of the devotees, because the devotees were all very kind. And by their grace, we were automatically accepted in the team. And in a team, you're kind of just automatically there. But there is that point. And I used to slap myself across the cheeks, as it were, about where I was and who I was with and who I was serving. This I had to repeatedly do, that this is not ordinary. And really, by the grace of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, we did not feel ever that we're in an ordinary place, another location. And, there is that expression in, I think, Emana Durmati, where I completely forgot my previous life. That when we've come into our devotional life, then this is our life. We've completely forgot our devotional life. But still people say, oh, what did you do before, or something like that. But London, they seem to like to do that quite a lot, or maybe not just London, but oh, what did you do before? Why did you become a devotee? Okay, something we can say. But I also was saying, our previous life really is like another life. But one devotee who does know what we did before, he said, oh, maybe all your previous life, it was to prepare you for living in, they said, austere conditions, but it wasn't austere. What do you need? You need a bed, a place to bathe, and Krishna's merciful prasadam, and association. I mean, what more do you need, really? Everything else were conditioned that we must have a bed with a mattress this thick and all these, and then you must have a cupboard, you've got to have a refrigerator, you've got to have this because you need these things for yourself. But we didn't live that life. I mean, we've had that life when we're students and at home, but we didn't have that life before. And so in one sense, maybe it was training for that, but the perspective of what we are doing, when we can see from the perspective that we are serving Guru, we've got this opportunity. Automatically, you can say, not pushing our way, definitely not pushing our way. Guru Maharaj saying, you stay here and engage in this work as assisting the secretary for the Western world. Gurudev saying, stay. And it is their wish. And so naturally we stay. There's not any question that, is it, can I surrender to this? It is, of course, we are here. But Prabhu, I think that for everybody, and for myself, we always try to know Gurudev and Guru Maharaj's mind. Srila Prabhupada's, mind. Mind is a material thing, but then nature and what they're giving us. When we constantly hear about the goal, yes, but about the journey and the joy of the journey, then we'll want to participate and not flop off to the side somewhere. And of course, Krishna was kind to give responsible service. looking after you all, looking after whoever will come to the temple. So, the devotees do keep us engaged, but not always so easy to please and to look after. And we have been many times to the market to get things which devotees do insist that they need. And very often that means leader section. When we go happily. But we have responsible service. That's on one side, looking after the devotees, but with Gurudev, so many things. So there's not really that question of how do you do it. It is, okay, this is what we did. And in the material world, I don't believe everyone has a smooth, peaceful life. There are challenges everywhere. And we know they don't. And an observation by one of our Bengali devotees who did accompany Gurudev on some, not many, but on some world tours, and interesting talking to him. And he said, actually, when I was in the West, I saw that here in the temple, people are getting better food. I mean, they're looking like as food, they're getting better nourishment than they do in their own homes. They're not cooking like this every day. Rice dal sabji. You see, you appreciate rice dal sabji, Muktinath. At home, they're getting all sorts of other things and wanting to change everything also. Whereas when you've got a simple diet and high thinking. And by the way, okay, spoiler alert is what this is. I'm not going to spoil anything for you all for watching the video. Hare Krishna. But Gurudev also talking about the earlier days. And incidentally, you can say, oh, Madhusudan or Mahananda, you lived in the mat for so long, how to keep service mood. We were in the mat during different ages, if you like. The Stone Age, the Iron Age, the Industrial Age, the Computer Age. I mean, really, we saw quite a transition in time from the first time being there. And I don't think it was a very difficult place to live later on for anyone, but it was never a difficult place for not only me, for many of us. Really, we came there and, well, for myself and for many, we didn't even notice about any lack of facility or lack of this or lack of that. We'd come out of great necessity and great necessity, yes. We come to Srila Guru Maharaj's lotus feet amongst crazy conceptions about spiritual life and crazy behavior of those who are meant to be the leaders and who are posting themselves as non-different from Krishna, do what I say, do or die, many things going on in those times. And we must be careful also about that and try to keep everyone on the straight and narrow who's prepared to hear. But we came to Guru Maharaj very much in need of relief. And so there was no real question for most of us. Okay, some got sick, I know. Well, actually, everyone gets sick in India, you can say pretty much. When at least the first time, sometimes we say that's the initiation process. Part of the initiation process of coming to India is you get what they call the Delhi belly. Those days, there's no bottled water or anything fancy. You take water wherever you are. That's do or die, drink water or die. But if your stomach has never seen these bugs before, it takes a little while for it to realize that it's got to combat them. So yes, there's some, you could say, austerity in that way, but the devotees, we came for the spiritual shelter. And that we got in secure abundance by the grace of Guru Maharaj, by the grace of Gurudev. And then everything else is absolutely secondary. And when we are given service, by them. And initially, it's not service directly from Guru Maharaj or Gurudev. We're there and then automatically asking, what can we do? And then automatically, very soon, you're given so many things to do that you definitely know what's expected of you in the mat. And then life is an automatic life. And as really Gurudev and Guru Maharaj gave, we got a window into a beautiful world where everyone is helping others, everyone is participating, and we pray for a slot, some service slot that we can engage in. We don't want to be just outsiders looking and thinking, oh, I went to this ashram, it was a happy ashram. Oh, I went to that ashram, it was such and such ashram. I went to this ashram, oh, it was beside the Ganges, the birds were singing. And we want to not be the subject, we want to actually be an object. What can I do? I want to be used by the devotees. And Srila Prabhupada and his mission of those who are representing him, pretty much they got us engaged when we came into the temple from our outside world. Then it was definitely seva, seva, seva. So we got some good foundation preparation within ISKCON in our day. They're not allowing any slackening really on the Bhakta course. You're coming straight in, straight away. You're going to have your head shaved. You're going to be wearing all these clothes. You're going to be going out in the public looking very strange, selling these magazines that you only have a little bit of an idea what's inside. There was a lot of surrender. And leave all bad habits, everything like that. That's it. Not, okay, after a while, then you can shave up and put on clothes. No, you're going to come and join, then this is what joining means. So you have to bite the bullet for your ego for quite a lot of things. So we do need to remember, and surrender, it also is in the air. Surrender is not just once. Yes, I surrendered. Back in 1980, I surrendered. But we have to always surrender in that sense. Remember why we came. Remember what we came for. Remember how these days everyone gave up at this, that, the other, everything else. And it's a little sad when we see that even groups of devotees, they slip into a non-surrendered state, in the sense of slipping into some bad habits. But for those of you who attend the Upadeshamrita course, all of you do, and then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was saying about those first two verses of the Upadeshamrita, the senses to control and the things to avoid, and that it's not directly service. This don't exactly constitute service, but they constitute the elements of surrender. This is our surrender. We need to do these to show our surrender, to control our speech, our mind, our anger, to control the tongue, the belly, the genitals, to control that we don't do those 6 items which are going to disturb our devotional service. So we get everything controlled. And this is surrender. If we're not controlling these, we're not really surrendering, or we're surrendering a part surrender. But we have to surrender in order to build upon, to build up our spiritual life. And if we not surrendered, then to whatever degree we're not surrendered, then really our foundation is a little unsecure, and our progress will be insecure, proper English. Hare Krishna. So Nabadwip, and to serve in Nabadwip, other things. Sometimes if we once hear, we're not Shruti, but if we once hear something, it can stay with us forever, even though we may not know quite, what the original source of what we hear is. But one of those things is that I heard some shloka or somebody saying something from our sannyasi section a long time ago about, rendering service. Service is the most valuable thing. It's extremely valuable. And if you surrender service in the holy Dham of Nabadwip, then it's worth every service you do. Its value is multiplied by, I don't know the figure, but we can say, 100 times. We can say, because I don't know the figure, but many times. Maybe it was 1,000 times. So any service you do within the 9 islands of Nabadwip, it is worth 100 times. And then any service you do in Koladip, the place of the Aparada Bhanjan path, the place where all offenses can be cleaned away if we approach with the proper serving attitude, then service in Koladip is worth like 100 times whatever the 100 times was, which starts getting up into the big numbers. And then we can also keep ourselves a little motivated, not to be lazy, but to be active. I mean, that's karma kanda-ish, if you like. Those expressions are there to give us a bit of a pull forwards, but we then mustn't do just with thinking what I'm going to get, but still can remind ourselves how valuable an opportunity we have to be in such a place. And to assist others. It's not that only we're going to get direct service to the pure devotee, otherwise I don't do something. We will assist others. Devotees, everyone's a devotee who comes. Why they spend hundreds or thousands of dollars to come to be in an environment which isn't the Bahamas, with all your luxury and everything else. It is simple. But why devotees come? They're coming for devotional life. And we must try to assist. Maybe that assistance is finding a mosquito net for them. That's also assistance. If that's the only service we render to Gurudev or to Guru Maharaj, or they need a mosquito net because for some reason their net is damaged or something. If that's the only service we ever did, we'll treasure that for all our life. Oh, one day Guru Maharaj needed a mosquito net because his mosquito net caught on fire. So whatever it is, he was not able to have a mosquito net. And he needed it. So I ran to the market. I went to the market, got a mosquito net, searched the best one, whatever it is, brought it back, and Guru Maharaj accepted the mosquito net with a smile. Kind to me. If that's the only thing we ever did, we'll think, oh, I had this opportunity to serve. But the service that they are seeing is the service to the servant, to help those who are doing service. And Krishna was kind that he's giving us all that opportunity. Paramananda Das, service in the time of greater necessity. Yes. Hare Krishna. And Srila Gurudev is so engaging. I mean, so engaging. Even about English, Gurudev saying, Mahananda, you have to tell me the correct English. Otherwise, how will I know? You have to tell me. So, humbly, we are also, correcting his English, but that doesn't mean my service is correcting Gurudev's English. It's just part of a life with loving seniors and loving masters and everything. And it's not always where in the mood. I mean, in the mood, yes, we're always in the mood of a disciple, but it's not that it's just like an official transaction. when Gurudev is always repeating about spiritual life. When Srila Gurudev himself is always repeating that spiritual life is a heart transaction. Well, he's the king of heart transactions. We can find out what is the Sanskrit for that, but we can give him the title as the king of heart transactions. So it's not only a theory. Gurudev isn't saying something, he's doing it. So if you are with the king of heart transactions, you can expect, you may hope and pray for a heart transaction glance from time to time at least. And Gurudev, he's the nourisher of devotees. So there wasn't a lot of calculation in what we did really. I mean, we just were very fortunate to have that opportunity of seva. But as I say, it wasn't only me. I had that seva, which is also, you can say in some sense, dangerous to be close to the fire. The fire which can purify everything. We must be very careful about that. But everyone who came, so many devotees, I'm thinking of a devotee who now passed away several years ago, but he came to Nabadwip once and he rendered service, not direct service, but he rendered service and joyfully. He was a very joyful personality. And I met him again and again later on, and many correspondence. He would call me up when I was in Nabadwip. And that one visit, which was not one day, but he was there for, I don't know how long, but like 2 or 3 weeks perhaps. That one visit, that was his absolute lifeline forever until he died. He called me up not long before he died. He knows he's going to die. And every time he's going on about, what he'd done and these things in the Holy Dham. And really, it was not only like charging the batteries, it was putting the plates into the batteries or whatever goes in batteries these days, like assembling the battery and then giving it an eternal charge, that kind of thing. So we should not take for granted doing simple things. And he was doing gardening and he was cleaning the drains. He was doing like whatever was needed. And he was very, very nourished until passing away, which was many years later. Not that he came to the Dham, did some service, went back and died. It was not that. And we can think of the happy destination of those with such a, you say, innocent mood, innocent service nature. And a servant is welcomed everywhere, including Goloka Vrindavan. But service quality, of course. Hare Krishna. So now is already 10 p.m., 10 a.m. or something in Nabadwip. What service have you done today, Muktinath Prabhu? Share your fortune with us all.
Oh, Maharaj, my service was only singing Arati today morning. Still, yes, 10:15 now morning, and yes, that's a very special morning today. I don't know why. Some kind of many things happen, like very tiny things, like birds singing, sunrise, people, very quiet morning after rain, and everything so gentle, and arati and beautiful deities. And all devotee was somehow this morning was so excited to singing, everybody singing like with happy, like you can see really happy mood, and sometimes it's less, sometimes more. And today was somehow out it's happened, and I'm quite impressed. Yeah, just by the one morning in the mud. Yes.
Did you lead the singing this morning?
No, I didn't lead. I follow, but yes, but yeah, that was all program. But yeah, I left. I leave before Bengali reading. Yes, in Bengali, but yes. So that was morning time.
And by coincidence, no coincidence, but by chance, we were listening to Srila Gurudev maybe 3 days ago now on the loudspeaker in the temple room. We're listening with the devotees. And I didn't know it again. No, we tried to choose. Anyway, I selected a talk, and I did not know it until towards the end. Srila Gurudev is expressing, that these programs here on the Samadhi of Srila Guru Maharaj, I'm very pleased that these programs are going on. And it was one of these days when he was giving the talk at Srila Guru Maharaj's Samadhi, right there in Nabadwip. And he established that 9 a.m. talk for the Western devotees. The Western devotees will come together and have Harikatha reading and Harikatha in English or other Western languages. But he established that bit from 9 till 10 each morning. And Gurudev himself, that day, he was giving the talk. And sometimes he would just come impromptu. And he would just come. And so suddenly somebody runs and gets a mat, a little bit thicker, sitting mat from the Natamandi. And Gurudev just sitting very happily on the ground, but with some raised mat in front of Guru Maharaj. And then if we know he's going to come, or Gurudev expressed he'll come, then, of course, someone will set up the chair and mat for his feet. But Gurudev would sometimes simply come and join in. Sevarupa Devidasis come with something, golden reflections forward. And is this forward by Gurudev or Guru Maharaj? Can you say Sevarupa kindly? Anybody home?
Dhanavad, sorry, I was on the wrong screen. It is by Srila Guru Maharaj. So it says here, yeah.
Okay.
By Srila
So
Guru.
this is Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakkhak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. I was thinking this too. So this is forward taken from Guru Maharaj's talks to the Golden Reflections book, which was from the 50th anniversary of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. Yes, Golden Reflection, the Golden Jubilee year. So Srila Guru Maharaj saying, this Nabadwip Dham on the banks of the Ganges has such great value, especially for the realization of our highest self, as recommended by Sriman Mahaprabhu. It is the land of love, sweetness, charm, and beauty. All are synonymous, all those expressions. It is heart-capturing. Our real existence is neither in our knowledge nor our power, but in our heart. So in which direction our heart is moving, that is the all-important factor in our life. It is a heart transaction. Mahaprabhu recommended, don't rely on your knowledge, reasoning capacity or power, but the heart transaction is all important in you. The inner factor of your existence is in your heart. So try to guide your heart towards sweetness, towards home. And your real home is not where we are wandering around with no certainty throughout 8,400,000 species, according to our karma. But only in the human birth, with the help of the divine agent, can we go back to our home, to home and affection. Very appropriate for this reflection about Nabadwip, about service, about being there, and about how from Nabadwip that home comfort is being distributed by the grace of Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj.
The whole forward is wonderful. I just couldn't paste the whole thing, but
Hare Krishna. Paramananda Prabhu, you know Nabadwip, you have been in Nabadwip, you have been serving in Nabadwip. Kindly share a few insights, a few heartbeats with us.
Well, Maharaj, you touched on so many subjects, and all of them made me think. So I'm contemplating. And that question about, it was Muktinath's question about going through the austerities of ashram life and this and that. I just realized that we never thought about it. At the moment of coming to such place, we thought the austerity is not being there. But by being there, it's like being in the heavens. And really that was the feeling. And we begged and we prayed and did so many things just to be there. And to be able to do at least something, just to be there with the devotees and be able to participate with the program and have the devotees association. Like you said, you came to ISKCON, that was the experience. You came to Nabadwip, that was the experience. It's a blessing after blessing after blessing, increasing blessings. And my experience was very similar. I've been contemplating, why am I not feeling the same way now? Because for ashram, we had just a wooden house with 35 people. Our bath was 100 meters away. Our toilet was 50 meters away in the garden. And all you get is a bucket of the same temperature. Well, not same, depending on the weather, but the warm or hot water was considered to be, a breaking of a regulative principle. Practically, actually, it was prohibited. All you get is a bucket of water of different cold temperatures. And regardless if it's plus 30, minus 30, you have to go and take your bath 100 meters away in a wooden enclosure, no insulation, no nothing. But we were so happy about it. And all we could think is how to make it to the Mangala Arati, because it was so beautiful. And then just relishing the moments, hearing, even falling asleep, but still something was coming through. Hearing Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavad Gita, and very eager to go right after Prasadam, and eager for Prasadam too, to go for the whole day of Seva, and very eager to come back and join the evening program and hear the reading of Krishna book. Where did it all go? That is the question. So we hear from our Guru Varga, some scriptural evidence there too, that so-called newcomers, even though, maybe we're not newcomers, but maybe we're continuing from the previous lives, they're having a special grace of the Lord, and that grace comes in the form of this attraction that we're ready for anything just to be with the devotees of Krishna. But then later on that disappears, and really again we hear a lot about how important it is to be very conscious. And that's the first, by the way, nama aparat, not to offend the devotees, not to offend the sadhus, because that is the cause of losing that inspiration, that great inspiration. the excessive familiarity, and Srila Guru Maharaj speaks about it quite often. Too much familiarity brings contempt. So we have to be quite conscious about it. And Maharaj was mentioning, and really, Maharaj, that was a wonderful talk, I have to say. You touched on so many things that you have to, and now you can ask, what do you remember from what I have said? Because you branched out, but you covered everything. And you were speaking about the first two verses of Padashamritam. In fact, all the verses of Padashamritam, we can say up to maybe the seventh and eighth verse. And when you read about these verses, when you think about what has been described, then you can just give up. You just surrender. No, it's impossible. I'm not going to follow it. It's impossible to do what Rupa Goswami is asking me to do, what Mahaprabhu is asking me to do. So where is the hope? And then it's all concluded in the 8th verse, where Srila Rupa Goswami says, but basically what I have said to you, all of that can be possible if you can constantly remember the holy name, hear the pastimes and remember the pastimes of the Lord. But what is the key aspect there? To be in a holy place, in the company of those who have attraction for that. And then he concludes, this is the essence of all instructions. That's it. That's all you need to know, all you need to hear. And what was said before, it will come to you naturally. You have to think about it. But the key aspect is to have that association with those who have that taste for Krishna. From them you will get it. And there are so many other verses. Recently, Govinda Maharaj was quoting that verse, Satat Prasangam, where he's saying, that's the way, that's my advice, that's Kapila Muni. There's nothing else you need to know pretty much. Stick to those who are relishing Krishna consciousness. From them you will get everything. Your faith will grow, it will become strong, the taste will rise, and then Krishna Prema will follow. Sounds very simple. And again, so many challenges on the way due to our inability. And so many places that we have, I mean, by the grace of our gurus, they're sprouted around the world. The embassies, the holy places. Now we're talking about Nabadwip, and no doubt Nabadwip is the holy of the holiest. And all those mathematics, like Maharaj said, is just made for us to understand the importance. Actually, it's multiplied by infinity. There's nothing, no mathematical calculation can measure the greatness of the Dham. But it's just for our, calculative brain to understand the significance. So those embassies were established everywhere. And we can say, if we are to follow the instructions of Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, there will be none different from Nabadwip. Really it is. If we only can follow that perfectly. Yes, we have to do it perfectly. We have to aspire for the perfection. But then it will become non-different. And then those embassies, and that's what Rupa Goswami is saying, that Tishtam Vrajetat Anuragi Jananugami, reside in a holy place in the company of those who have attraction for Krishna, Anuragi Jana, the real devotees of the Lord. Then everything will come to you. And this is the possibilities. Why otherwise they are there? Why we have ashram in Italy? Why we have ashrams and temples in London too, actually, in Thailand and any other country, just for this very purpose, to be there in the company of the devotees and serve each other. Like Maharaj repeatedly said during his talk, service, service, service. I mean, saying and also quoting Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. This is the essence of everything. Serving each other, helping each other, being nice to each other, good thing to remember, because that excessive familiarity will take us down if we are not trying to control it. We will have contempt for everything, for the devotees, for the environment, for everything there is, including the ashrams. And if you start thinking, it's a holy place and I'm having contempt for that, think about it. So, coming back to Nabadwip. So when we come to Nabadwip, my experience was to come there for a short time, because I can only control myself for a short time. And during that short time, I will take whatever seva is necessary, whatever seva will come. Either it's coming from Madhusudana Maharaj, he is the seva distributor, main seva distributor from other devotees, from Srila Govinda Maharaj, and I will withdraw as soon as I will start feeling that the mood is spoiling. So I'm in the infinite obeisance to all of those devotees who actually stayed and served there for a very long time. Really, this is something special. And I was listening to Govinda Maharaj today, and there was this very eager devotee whom we all know, but I shall not be named. Eager, sincere, and very simple-hearted. So he was saying, Govinda Maharaj, you have to tell me what to do. You have to give me the service. I'm here. I need to know what to do. Please, you tell me. But tomorrow I'm busy. I need to go there. I need to go to Calcutta. And Govinda Maharaj just listened to that. And I could see the face of Govinda Maharaj. And then he said, Srila Guru Maharaj, he wouldn't take any excuse from me. When he wanted me to do anything, he wouldn't take any excuse. Must be done. No other option. And then Govinda Maharaj was telling the story about Shivajit's messenger. That's what instead Guru Maharaj illustrated me this point. Do or die. That's the point. And really, if someone can stay in that kind of mood, in the place like Nabadwip, in the presence of Tachihaya Vaishnava, he is a worshipable soul. But it is the mood, and there is no discounts anywhere. Do not look for discounts. They've been already given. In fact, you have to give them up and raise your quality of service higher and higher. Don't decrease it with the discounts. And that was Gurudev's point. If you're ready, if you're asking for the seva, then be ready to do or die. That was what he was saying. Otherwise, there is no seva. There is no service in that. Because service means surrender. If you just do something because you kind of like doing it, you're enjoying doing it. No, the result may be, and that's Govinda Maharaj, the result may be a good karma, some pious activities. It will count as a pious activity. But if you are giving yourself to what your guru is asking you to do fully, you may fail, but you nevertheless give whatever you had. That is service. And the attempt to serve, sincere attempt, full attempt to serve, is also counts.
Hari Bol, we want to dance.
Hare Krishna.
What time is it? Oh, dancing is going to be, okay, it's going to be dancing time here after 1 hour. And in the meantime, look and see, anyone's here? Anyone's online from here in London? Nobody online. Okay, well, that may be a good sign because we've been following this idea and following that, encouraging the devotees to be 1 hour before Arati in the main room, so we're all together, and chant on the japa, so we can chant at least 4 rounds and chant Gayatri. So I hope that nobody's here with us on back to basics because they're all chanting japa. I will go through and find out. And me too, I'm going to go through and chant japa too. Anyway, hearing Paranabhu's words, I actually feel like we want to dance because really this service to Gurudev, service to Guru Maharaj, and by the way, just one thing to add, I mean, it's super joyful. This is why do we want to chant, to dance? Because we are remembering those like direct days of engaging under their guidance. This needs to be done, that needs to be done. And one thing I'd just like to add is it is abundantly clear from being in that kind of situation, they give the capacity to do what they ask you to do, what you're being asked to do. They're not giving you something which is impossible to do, even though it may seem impossible. So really, we know that it's not just, oh, I know Gurudev's grace. I did it, but it was the grace of Gurudev. No, I mean, really, we know that we did do it as an instrument, and it was abundantly clear that this happened, then this, by the grace of Guru, by the grace of Gurudev himself, who's given the capacity and the facility to fulfill a particular service. And I just want to share the very last words of Srila Gurudev in that recording we were referring to earlier on 010318 on the Govindamaj video series. The very last words were, if we, okay, I'll give exactly his English. If we not do, oh yes, okay, if we not will do sadhana, we will suffer. Okay, so if you want one expression, word for word from Gurudev, if we not will do sadhana, we will suffer. So in other words, if we don't do our sadhana, we will suffer. So just final note, not a note of like fear, but if we're suffering, we must think, am I doing my sadhana? Because we know that this path is taking away all suffering of this material world, all fear of the future also. So we must try to do our sadhana nicely. And by the way, I just wanted to say a welcome to Radha Sundari Devi Dasi. She's also there. She's in Mayapur. I think, I mean, she's based in Mayapur, so I expect she's there today. And so when we see your name, we are also connected, an extra little connection with the Dham. And Radha Sundari contacted me the other day and she said, I've been looking for you. I thought the back to basics had finished. I was looking for you, and she came across. So somehow, I'm not sure how we keep devotees informed if there is a change of time. But we try to keep everything. That's the only change of time in however many years we've been running, 5 years perhaps, we've been running back to basics. And it was for some practical purpose. So we're happy you found the devotees here, Radha Sundari Devi Dasi, and appreciate your searching us out and being with us. All right, and to each of you, appreciate searching out and finding us. And the first devotee I saw today was Jai Gauranga Prabhu. So we're expecting a good day. See Brahmachari first thing in the morning. All right, to all of you dear devotees, I'm going to leave you and do some sadhana. Hare Krishna. Yes, Radha Sundari Devi Nasi. Appreciate your message. And by the way, in the chat box, then Sevarupa Devi Nasi did put, I think, the remainder of the foreword of the book, Golden Reflections. Is that right, Sevarupa? I didn't read it all.
It's just one small insert, also part of the foreword, but on service.
All right. Okay, so we can go to that forward and do this as homework. I'm going to go through and we'll continue our day, and we'll see some of you later, won't we? Not sure. Oh yes, Latvia. Oh, there's a Latvia Zoom this afternoon. Latvia Zoom this afternoon. At 1 p.m. London time, 2 p.m. Italy time. Who knows what time everywhere else in the world, but everyone is welcome. Ask Leelamoy if you wish to have a Leelamoy Prabhu, if you wish to have a link. All right, dear devotees, my first of all, Jai to Srila Gurudev, to Srila Guru Maharaj, to Srila Prabhupada, Jai to Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Jai to our whole Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga, Ki Jai to all of those, Jai, big Jais, Jai to you all, Jai to and the Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur, Ki Jai, Jai to all of you, Jai to all the worldwide devotees. And even having confirmed we were on Facebook, my Facebook never got beyond the first page. So anyhow, please excuse those on Facebook, those on Zoom, those in the recorded version. We appreciate all of you with obeisances. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Jai Shri Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai.
Govinda. Bye bye. I'm going to go. You may stay together. I have no difficulty for that. Krishna Krishna.